Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to wait just one more minute so we give time for our registrants to log into Zoom. We're really excited for today's session. As we're waiting for everyone else to join us, can you just type in the chat? This will help us make sure that you know where the chat settings are. Can you type where are you coming from? What school do you represent? And what's the most exciting thing about joining today's session? That would be great to hear from you. Like I said, this would help us make sure that the chat feature is working and that you can collaborate during the presentation. See? Perfect. Karen, awesome to see you. Great. Johnson County Community College, UAB School of Nursing, East Tennessee, New Mexico. Awesome. Texas Women's University. Oh, Nigeria University. Awesome. Great. We're seeing diversity. A lot of sunny California, Chicago. Wow, Linda. Wow, that's great. Awesome. Linda from Chaminade University. I went to St. Mary's University. That's awesome. American University of Health Science, California. Centerville University. Excellent. Connecticut. Great. We have so far 61 attendees. We're going to wait another minute, but for those that just joined us, please use the chat. Tell us where you're coming from, what university you represent, and tell us what's the most exciting part about joining today's session. I'm so glad that the chat is working. You know, technology is great until it isn't. So I wanted to make sure that everything was working so that we can have an interactive session today. East Tennessee State University, wonderful. Baylor University, great. I'm in San Antonio, Texas. So it's great to see a Texas school. Chambers University, awesome. Great. Okay, so we waited 2 minutes. It's about to get started because we want to make sure that we have plenty of room for you to ask us questions. So I want to get started with this. Oh, Renee, your daughter lives in San Antonio. Right now the weather is nice and it's fiesta time. So I'm ready to join Battle of Flowers on Friday. Wonderful. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today for what promises to be a powerful conversation, transforming nursing education with AI-enhanced backward design. By the end of today, you'll know exactly how to integrate the essentials with clarity, precision, and confidence, without overwhelming your faculty, falling into curriculum misalignment, or facing accreditation uncertainty. We all know that navigating these essentials can be overwhelming, especially while you're trying to balance everything else that's on your plate. That's why in the next 45 minutes, I'm going to show you a new AI-enhanced approach to backward design, one that simplifies the process, accelerates your progress, and builds a strong foundation for your curriculum and student outcomes. For those of you that I haven't met yet, I'm Alejandra Certuche, CEO and founder of Enflux. I'm well known for being a data scientist and a big nerd with a background in biomedical informatics and statistics. And I started my career working directly inside academic institutions, where I saw firsthand how difficult it is to align curriculum management assessment data. To align curriculum, manage assessment data, and prepare for accreditation, especially without the right systems. I started my career about 15 years ago, and it's incredible to see that some schools are still in the same stage they were 15 years ago with assessment and accreditation. At Enflux, we use AI and advanced data science to help academic leaders turn disconnected data into clear, actionable insights, supporting continuous improvement and student success. But when it came to applying AI in nursing education, we knew that smart technology alone wasn't enough. And that's why we partnered with nationally recognized nurse educators, Dr. Barbara Aranda Naranjo and Dr. Eula Pines, to validate every model against evidence-based real-world academic needs. If I just briefly go through their background and their achievements and everything they have accomplished, It would take us about an hour or two just to briefly go through that. Dr. Aranda Naranjo brings a public health lens and years of leadership in nursing education. And Dr. Pines is an expert in AACN Essentials alignment and competency-based curriculum design. What you'll see today isn't just innovative. It's academically sound, clinically relevant, and built to support sustainable, high-quality program outcomes. Dr. Pines and Dr. Naranjo, thank you so much for joining us today. It's truly an honor to have you both with us, and it has been a pleasure working with you for the past 3 months.
Thank you, Alejandra.
And now let's talk about the real challenge. We know that it's not just about understanding or mapping to the essentials. It's about having a system that can help you manage data, simplify the process, and lead continuous improvement without overwhelming your faculty. And that's exactly why we built Enflux, a smarter, faster way for academic leaders to make confident, data-driven decisions. Instead of stitching together spreadsheets, survey data, gradebooks, and accreditation reports, Enflux connects directly to the systems you already use, like Canvas, ExamSoft, your SIS, board exams, and it pulls all of that into one clean, centralized view. Then it does the heavy lifting, cleans and structures the data automatically, adds AI-powered tools like Competency Genie to map your curriculum and spot gaps fast, and gives you dashboards and action plans that keep everything from accreditation to advising moving forward without the stress. And the best part, it's fully managed by our team. So faculty can stop chasing reports or spreadsheets and start focusing on what really matters the most: student success and program excellence. In short, Enflux turns your disconnected data into clarity and momentum. And that's how top programs lead with confidence. Before we dive into the strategies, let's map where you are today, because to move forward faster, it's important to know exactly where the biggest roadblocks are now. And I want to hear from you. And we already tested the chat, so we know it's working. Please type in the chat, what's the hardest part about applying backward design in your curriculum? Is it collecting all the right data? Is it getting faculty in the same room at the same time? Finding time to move the work forward when everyone's already stretched thin? Or making sense of all the revisions and actually turning it into a real lasting change? Please let us know in the chat. I would love to hear from you. Where is your program feeling the biggest challenge right now? So I see some answers. There's no wrong answers, by the way, just real challenges we all face. So all of the above, knowing the exact steps in a simplified template, managing all the data, ensuring alignment, all of the above, time, figured out how to fill the potholes and getting faculty on the same page. Yes, we're all busy and stretched thin, hard to collaborate. All of the tracking outcomes, time, effort, small number of faculty who are new. So as I mentioned, there's no wrong answers. There's just real challenges that we all face. Thank you so much for sharing your feedback. You're not alone, and that's exactly why we are building a better way. An AI-enhanced approach to backward design that makes tackling these challenges not just possible, but achievable. Now, Enflux AI's enhanced backward design helps you integrate the essentials with clarity, precision, and confidence. I think it's extremely important to highlight those 3 words, and you'll see the example of why these 3 are important. Because they don't overwhelm faculty and sacrifice any academic quality. It's designed to streamline your process, elevate your curriculum, and make sustainable change finally feel achievable. But before we dive into the AI process, I want to, let's take a step back for a moment together so that we can talk between the difference of technology and AI, because understanding this difference completely changes how we approach backward design today. So the power of technology assistance. Let me take you through an example that you might feel familiar with. Imagine that someone hands you this essay on paper and is filled with grammatical errors. You know it needs revision, but you have to read through every sentence, every word to identify and fix each issue. Now, pause for a moment and ask yourself, how long would this take me? How much energy would it require? And how much consistency could you guarantee if you have to do this 50 times? Now, imagine the same document, but in a Google Doc or a Word document, that every error is flagged for you. And next to each issue is a suggestion. You still use your judgment, you still make the final call, but the grunt work, the repetitive scanning, that's handled for you. That's the power of technology assistance. It's still not AI, it's technology. But when you can fix grammar, rewrite the essay, adjust the tone, and make it shorter, cleaner, and more formal, all with a simple click, that's the transformational power of AI at work. But remember, you're still the final author that can go and revise the AI output to make sure that it's aligned with what you desire. So here's the analogy I want to draw for curriculum design. Today, faculty are often revising student learning outcomes one by one. It's slow, it's inconsistent, it's exhausting. And it's not just revising, they also have to map them to multiple program outcomes and align them with over 200 essential competency. It's massive, it's time-consuming task that pulls focus away from what truly matters, which is advancing student learning and outcomes. But with AI-powered tools like the one by Enflux, we can turn this overwhelming process into a streamlined, guided experience. So let me show you how it works. Imagine one student learning outcome. By the way, this is really bad student learning outcome. It was made up for us for this example. AI instantly audits whether the SLO is written in clear action verbs, it's observable and measurable, and it's aligned to competency-based principles, giving faculty immediate feedback and clarity. I'm going to pause for a minute so that you can see the output. It's assessing all of these different dimensions and providing AI feedback. Within this AI feedback, sometimes we add questions so that we help faculty think critically about the structure of the student learning outcome. Now, we believe in human and artificial intelligence working together. So rather than having faculty bury in manual revisions, Enflux AI offers a guided structure that supports faster, more consistent improvements aligned with the latest curriculum design standards. That's why faculty can stay focused on what matters most. Now, we don't stop there. We don't only provide improvements that are needed, but we also provide feedback and provide them with examples of rewritten examples to be better starting points, showing what strong measurement observable outcomes look like. But at the end, faculty are always the final authors. Let's not forget about that. They have full academic control of implementing or not implementing the AI feedback. Plus, you're not left alone to navigate these revisions. We added coaching sessions where faculty work alongside with experts answering questions, helping prioritize revisions, and making sure that every decision supports your program goals and student success. Here's what it looks like to just revise or audit a whole course. The system checks each outcome to see if it's using strong, measurable, actionable verbs and whether it's aligned to CBE principle. And if it needs improvements, we flag it and suggest exactly how to make it better. So faculty know what to adjust and why. Now, once the SLOs are clearly written, our AI tools would automatically map them to the essentials. and provide them for rationale for each alignment. So in here, we're looking at 3 learning outcomes, and we have them mapped to multiple domains and multiple sub-competencies, and AI is providing a rationale. So they can start with this. We applied the same approach. Something I really want to mention is that we applied the same approach to every single element of backward design, starting with an AI audit, keeping faculty as the final decision makers, and then closing with expert-led coaching sessions. So what is the pathway to alignment? So the backward design, we need to start with desired outcomes. How are we going to assess them? And how are we going to teach them? So for each of these components, we need to start with the first one. You need to collect your data. Most programs today are working hard with homegrown methods, and that's something to be proud of. What we do at Enflux is that we take that incredible foundation and streamline it into something that is faster and easier and more sustainable system. So this is how both of them compare step by step. So step 1, you need to collect all of that data. At Enflux, all you have to do is upload the data into our system. Step 2, create custom AI prompts that you can use so that a faculty can audit their student learning outcomes in ChatGPT. But be careful, make sure that you're maintaining confidential information secure. At Enflux, we keep everything secure. We have the highest standards of data security, and we have well-written instant AI-driven audits that are aligned to the Essentials, CBE principles, and accreditation standards. Step 3, conduct workshops. Faculty are so stretched, they're stretched thin, they don't have a lot of time, so you have to dedicate a specific hour, and we call them workshops, where it's time for them to think about the output of AI and work on the improvements. Don't give them homework, don't ask them to do it between classes or anything else. It's a dedicated time for them to review the AI feedback and improve the student learning outcomes. So we at Enflux provide structured working sessions with tools, worksheets, and dynamic dashboards. Step 4, provide coaching sessions. Allow them to meet with their colleagues and to ask questions to make sure they have clarity and they can have strong, well-written student learning outcomes. And that's what we do at Enflux. Dr. Barbara Aranda Naranjo and Dr. Eula Pines are our experts that are leading these coaching sessions. Now, as I mentioned, all of these 4 steps have to be done for each of the elements of backward design, starting with your desired outcomes, your mission, ambition, and values, your program outcomes, your course description and student learning outcomes. Then you map your SLOs to program outcomes and the essentials. Then you do your determine acceptable evidence, and map to the SLOs. Then finally, you do your design learning plans and map them directly to the SLOs. So once again, the 4 steps that I just showed you, we do that for each of these components of backward design. And the best part, the game changer, is that with Enflux, all the data gets automatically fed into our dynamic curriculum map dashboard. And it doesn't stop there. We integrate it with assessment data so that we can provide you with a systematic plan for evaluation, giving you the system a living, breathing map that stays continuously aligned to both your curriculum and your student performance to inform decision-making and continuous improvement. In NSYS, a systematic plan for evaluation that enables nursing programs to continuously assess and improve their effectiveness, ensuring high-quality education and positive outcomes for students and stakeholders. This is what a dynamic curriculum map looks like. As you're going through our sessions, everything gets updated and you get mapping alerts. If you have gaps, you can see that there's no dots in here, or sequencing alerts. You started a specific competency with one of the course learning outcomes, a demonstrate, and you don't have introduce and reinforce. This is what a dynamic curriculum map looks like. And this is what the systematic plan for evaluation looks like. In here, just for an example, because we don't have demo data, you would see how the students are performing on each of the domains and sub-competencies and fears and care and more, and how is that aligned with your curriculum. Now, to get you started with AI-enhanced backward design, we created a focus worksheet designed specifically for you. It helps your faculty assess whether each student learning outcome is written using strong action verbs that describe observable and measurable student performance. It's a simple, practical first step to ensure your curriculum foundation is aligned with competency-based education principles and ready for deep AI enhancement revolution. This worksheet can be used with AI prompts. If you upload it to ChatGPT and put your student learning outcomes, you're going to get an audit based on our framework. Now, you might think this makes sense, but it still feels a little bit overwhelming. Or maybe you're wondering, how do I actually apply this to my program and make real progress without getting stuck or wasting time? That's exactly why we created Enflux Assessment Academy, to help programs like yours move from theory to results faster. So Enflux Academy entails the three components that we talk about. Well, the 4 phases: we collect your data, we provide you AI audits, we conduct workshops, and then you have the coaching sessions for each of the components of the backward design. You get personalized coaching proven frameworks, ready to use templates, and a community of peers from other programs. Our goal is simple: to help you go from reactive and overwhelmed to organized, structure organized, proactive, and accreditation ready with expert support every step of the way. If you would like to explore whether Enflux Assessment Academy is a good fit for you, I invite you to book a 15-minute call with us. We'll map out your current challenges and show you how the academy can help you move forward with confidence. We're keeping the cohort small, so you can see already our May cohort is fully enrolled to ensure personalized support. So if you're interested, now is the time to grab a spot. So I'll pause for a second just to see if anyone has any questions. We're gonna go through them at the end, because now what I really want you to hear is directly from a nursing expert who validated our AI models. First, Dr. Naranjo will share current challenges in curriculum design, and then Dr. Pines will highlight how AI-enhanced backward design is reshaping what's possible.
The 2021 AACN Essentials introduces a revolutionary competency-based framework. It aims to reduce the education to practice gap for new nurses. Welcome to our presentation on 2021 AACN Essentials, a transformative framework aiming to bridge the education to practice gap in nursing. This shift emphasizes competency-based learning, ensuring graduates are practice-ready across all degree levels. The new essentials move away from rigid degree-based outcomes, instead focusing on a unified set of competencies for all nurses, regardless of their educational pathway. This approach addresses inconsistencies in graduate skills and prepares to adapt to the evolving demands of healthcare practice. Today, we will examine common barriers faculty encounter in integrating the 2021 AACN Essentials into nursing curricula, such as limited time, knowledge gaps, and resource constraints. We will also analyze institutional and individual challenges hindering effective implementation of competency-based education, including resistance to change, outdated teaching methods, and misalignment between academic and clinical expectations. In introducing the AACN 2021 Essentials Framework, I want to share the components of the framework. There are 4 spheres of care, ensuring competencies are relevant across all practice settings, from individual care to population health. There are 10 core domains, such as person-centered care, quality and safety, and leadership. providing a comprehensive structure for competency development. There are 8 concepts for nursing practice, which are foundational elements that permeate all aspects of nursing education and practice. They are designed to be interwoven throughout the 10 domains and associated competencies, ensuring a holistic and integrated approach to nursing education. There are 2 levels of competencies: entry level for pre-licensure and advanced level for graduating nursing education, creating a continuum of development. This framework promotes consistency, clarity, and adaptability in nursing education, equipping graduates with the skills needed for modern healthcare environments. So what is the background and the impetus as we look at 21 Essentials? What we learned from a study of 5,000 nurses that despite high Enflux pass rates, only 23% of new graduates demonstrate competence in basic clinical judgment skills, highlighting a significant gap between academic preparation and real-world practice. The Essentials address this by shifting the focus from content memorization to the demonstration of practical competencies, aiming to produce nurses who are better equipped to handle the complexities and unpredictability of today's healthcare settings. Let's look at 4 key drivers. One is the alignment with national standards updated with AACN Essentials accreditation requirements. That would be CCNE, NLN, and state boards. Second would be advances in healthcare technology, digital fluency, data literacy, and simulation-based learning to mirror real-world practice. Third, workforce demands and nursing shortage. Fourth is practice readiness. So let's talk a little bit about academic preparation and how we're going to address the barriers to integration. First, we must know what they are. So many nursing programs still rely on outdated curricula that are not aligned with current practice needs, creating a disconnect between what is taught and what is required in modern healthcare settings. Second, there is a significant variability in degree pathways and inconsistency in graduates' knowledge, skills, and competencies, leading to confusion about the expected outcomes and standards for entry level and advanced nursing practice. There are also healthcare demands and complex patient care. As we know, there is an increasing complexity of patient care environments which demand that nurse graduates possess advanced competencies and the ability to work in interprofessional teams. The current educational structures often fail to fully prepare students for these realities, particularly in managing complex patients and collaborating across disciplines. There's also program variability and framework complications. There's wide variability and inconsistency in how programs implement the AACN Essentials, complicated efforts to standardize nursing education and ensure quality across institutions. There's also a lack of unified framework and agreement on degree preparation levels, which makes it difficult to articulate the discipline of nursing and transition graduates smoothly into practice environments. And there are also faculty and institutions that may struggle with and integrating new frameworks due to resource limitations and the need for significant curricular transformation. These barriers highlight the need for ongoing faculty development, clear frameworks, and strong alignment between academic preparation and healthcare practice demands. The next slide will provide strategies for successful implementation. The key, as we all know, in any work is team, the faculty having the resources and working together as a team. So faculty development and capacity building is a main one. So we want to offer regular faculty development workshops, like the one you're having now, focus on competency-based education and the essentials. We want to develop and share practical resources such as exemplar syllabi, rubrics, and assessment templates to support faculty. We want to be able to appoint curriculum champions. This has been seen as successful in many universities within each department to lead and mentor peers throughout the transition. Curriculum mapping and alignment. content, learning activities, and assessment with the AACN Essentials, ensuring all domains and competencies are addressed. Another area that will assist in successful implementation is to employ crosswalks and mapping tools to identify gaps, redundancy, and opportunities for improvement. And you'll hear later about the opportunity for mapping tools that will help with the crosswalk. We want to integrate technology, including artificial intelligence, to streamline mapping, track students' exposure to competencies, and generate reports for continuous improvement. AI can assist by automating the mapping process and suggesting alignments between course objectives and essential domains. AI can analyze curriculum data to identify gaps or overlaps. It can generate assessment rubrics and templates based on progression indicators. AI can support backward design to ensure all learning objectives are linked to competencies. We also need to look at, for successful implementation, and that is administration and leadership. Secure leadership buy-in by clearly connecting essential implementation to institutional mission and student outcomes. Provide workload adjustments or stipends to recognize faculty effort during curriculum design. Facilitate transparent communication about timelines, expectations, and milestones to keep all stakeholders informed and engaged. In conclusion, let me provide you three major takeaways for the AACN Essential implementation. One would be that it would be very important to be intentional about faculty and faculty collaboration. And what do I mean by that? A coordinated approach is essential. Successful integration of the AACN Essentials requires robust faculty development, systematic curriculum mapping, and strong administrative and leadership support. Faculty need targeted training, practical resources, and departmental champions, while leadership must ensure clear communication, workload adjustments, and alignment with institutional goals. Second takeaway, curriculum mapping must be collaborative and strategic. And in order to do that, we need to look at technology and AI to enhance the curriculum alignment. And we can leverage technology, especially AI, to streamline curriculum mapping, identify gaps, automate alignment with competencies, and supports data-driven continuous improvement. This makes the transition to competency-based education more efficient and effective. And third, but not least, is institutional leaders must align implementation efforts with mission, provide resources, and foster a culture that rewards innovation and educational scholarship. In bringing that to a summary, leadership must drive mission alignment and innovation. Institutional leaders must actively align implementation efforts with the organization's mission, allocate the adequate resources, and foster a culture that rewards innovation and educational scholarship. This leadership commitment is crucial for sustaining faculty engagement and achieving meaningful long-term transformation in nursing education. I look forward to hearing your questions, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Naranjo. And here are all her references. We'll be providing the recording and the slides after the presentation today in our email. And now we have Dr. Pines doing the presentation on how you can leverage technology in NIE for alignment.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for being here today. We stand at an exciting crossroad in nursing education, one that challenges us to move from good intentions to lasting, measurable impact. Together, we'll explore how new models, new tools, and new ways of thinking can better prepare nurses for the increasingly complex healthcare environments they'll face. Let's begin. As nursing education evolves, we're moving decisively away from traditional, time-based models and stepping into more dynamic, competency-driven approaches. To guide our conversation today, we'll focus on 4 key objectives. First, we'll compare traditional and competency-based education models, reflecting on how each shapes learner development and professional readiness. Second, we'll explore Miller's pyramid position with clinical competence. Third, we'll discuss how backward design aligns learning outcomes, curriculum, and assessment, guided by the AACN 2021 Essentials. Finally, we'll highlight how artificial intelligence can support more effective, responsive curriculum design. With these goals in mind, let's first explore the structures from which we are evolving and why this evolution is so essential. Historically, nursing education has been largely input-driven and time-based. Credit hours and seat time have been used as proxies for learning, assuming presence equals progress. Yet, as we know, time spent doesn't always mean skills gained. Traditional models focus heavily on content delivery, prioritizing transmission over real-world application, with little space for clinical reasoning. Standardized pacing assumes every learner moves at the same speed, overlooking their individual journeys. And when assessments reward memory over reasoning, we lose the chance to truly foster clinical judgment. Clearly, these patterns reveal the need for change, a shift from time and input toward demonstrated competence. So let's take a closer look. Where exactly do these pitfalls begin? The challenges in traditional teaching are not random. They stem from systemic issues. Advancement often hinges on time elapsed, not mastery achieved. Content overload dilutes deep understanding, weakening critical thinking and clinical judgment. Theory remains disconnected from practice, leaving students unprepared for clinical realities. And we continue to measure inputs, lectures, assignments, rather than assessing real-world readiness. Together, these issues send a clear message. If we want different outcomes, we must intentionally rebuild nursing education, centering it around outcomes, competence, and true readiness. How do we rebuild an educational system for true clinical readiness? Competency-based education, or CBE, marks a turning point. It redefines not by time spent, but by outcomes demonstrated. CBE centers learning around what students can actually do, how they apply knowledge, integrate skills, and make sound clinical decisions. Mastery-based progression respects individual learning paces, honoring personalized growth. Authentic assessment becomes central, focusing on clinical reasoning and judgment over rote memorization. A growth mindset is actively promoted, encouraging feedback, reflection, and continuous development. Ultimately, the goal is real-world readiness, not just graduation, which leads to an important question. How do we meaningfully assess competence at every stage of learning? CBE is not just a method, it's an educational reform. Progress is based on mastery, not on time. Learner-centered progression respects individual strengths and needs. Clear outcomes make learning goals transparent, measurable, and clinically relevant, aligned with accreditation benchmarks. This foundational shift sets the stage for truly transformative nursing education. But how do we scaffold competence systematically across development levels? Miller's Pyramid offers an evidence-based practice guide. Let's walk through it. In 1990, Dr. George Miller introduced his foundational model, Miller's Pyramid. At the base is knows, acquiring foundational knowledge and theory. Next, knows how, applying that knowledge through reasoning and decision-making. Moving upward, shows how, demonstrating skills in controlled or simulated environments. Finally, does, the pinnacle, where learners integrate skills and judgment consistently in real clinical practice. Direct observation at the highest level ensures competence is not just theoretical, but reliable in the real world. Miller's pyramid reminds us competence evolves progressively, and innovation can help learners ascend even more effectively. Innovation propels the shift from knowing to doing, and ultimately to becoming. Today, knowledge must be translated into action. Innovation replaces rote memorization with critical, ethical, contextual clinical reasoning. Skill integration moves students beyond isolated tasks toward holistic, interconnected competencies. Professional identity forms, embedding ethics, compassion, and dignity at every step. Clinical judgment is strengthened as students are immersed in authentic decision-making environments. Consequently, the transition from knowing to doing reflects not just learning skills, but becoming ethical, practice-ready professionals. To achieve this transformation, we must also transform curriculum design. Backward design offers the structure we need. Introduced by Wiggins and McTee, it strategically operationalizes the AACN 2021 Essentials. We first identified desired outcomes, the competencies students must demonstrate. We determine acceptable evidence, designing assessments that move beyond exams toward authentic evaluation methods. Then we intentionally design learning activities, scaffolding competencies across domains like population health, professionalism, and person-centered care. Employer feedback ensures real-world relevance. Through backward design, every learning experience builds toward readiness. Let's now explore how this structure supports strategic curriculum mapping. Backward design enables systematic curriculum mapping. We start by defining end competencies rooted in knowledge, skills, and values. Competencies are aligned directly to the AACN Essentials. Employer-validated outcomes ensure practical relevance. An intentional assessment plan ensures every competency is meaningfully evaluated. We prioritize performance-based measures, real-world knowledge application, and clinical reasoning. Scaffolded learning activities build skills progressively, and integrated clinical experiences reinforce theory through authentic hands-on practice. Through these deliberate steps, curriculum becomes outcome-centered, truly practice-ready. Now, let's explore how emerging technologies, particularly AI, can enhance this work even further. Artificial intelligence is playing an increasingly vital role in nursing education transformation. AI enables scalable, precise curriculum mapping, linking competencies, content, and outcomes. It provides real-time learner progress analysis, directly connecting outcomes to assessment results. Mastery tracking ensures no learner falls behind unnoticed. AI identifies alignment gaps between curriculum, competencies, and assessment. It informs curriculum refinement, revealing areas for improvement. AI creates measurable standards, clarifying and strengthening competency evaluation. And it enables timely intervention, allowing educators to proactively support students. By thoughtfully leveraging AI's power, we can drive more precise, responsive, impactful transformation across nursing education. Let's close by reflecting on the key ideas fueling this transformation. In closing, several key elements are driving our transformation. The AACN 2021 Essentials provide a clear, outcome-driven blueprint. Competency-based education prioritizes readiness over time. Backward design aligns outcomes, assessments, and learning strategies. Miller's pyramid anchors competence development in a clear progression. Artificial intelligence enhances precision, alignment, and adaptability. Together, these frameworks and innovations empower us to shift from tradition to impact, from passive learning to active competence development, and from knowing to doing. Thank you all for your leadership, your vision, and your unwavering commitment to advancing the future of nursing education.
Dr. Pines, thank you so much for such a wonderful presentation. Here are Dr. Pines' references, which we're going to be providing after the presentation. And let me go to the next one. As I mentioned, please book a session with us so that you can see if and how we can help you through the Enflux Assessment Academy. But now I would love to welcome any questions that anyone might have. Could you please be sent by PDF lectures? Yeah. Absolutely. We'll be sending the PDF presentation, the recording of this session, and the worksheet. And we're gonna, like we mentioned, we want to make sure that we can help you take the first steps. We know that this can be an overwhelming process, and what we're trying to provide is not just evidence-based and state-of-the-art curriculum practices, but also a structure where faculty know that if they dedicate an hour a week for the next 6 weeks or 8 weeks, that they're done with the transition to competency-based education, that it's a good structure where they can see the whole process. There's nothing more frustrating than starting a process without seeing all the milestones that need to be completed and when and at what time and what's the time commitment. So that's our commitment, help you provide that structure. Let's see if anyone has any questions. Please let us know. People are quiet today. We still have 63 people. A lot of thank yous. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Dr. Pines and Dr. Naranjo have put tremendous amount of time into all of our guidelines. They created checklists to check everything, starting with the mission, vision, and goals, starting with your program outcomes. And now we're converting all of those checklists into worksheets. So we're really excited to start working with the nursing programs in these cohorts so that we can help them, but they can also help each other. As you saw in the beginning of the presentation, you're not alone. We are all on the same boat, facing the same challenges. So why don't we get together and face those challenges in a structured and an informative way? Let's see, no questions. People, just a lot of thank yous. Get great presentation. Thank you, Eric. We appreciate it. I have a question here. Are there items of value here for alignment, even if you are not going concept-based curriculum? Unless Dr. Naranjo and Dr. Pines, let me know if you want to answer this. I think that the items of value here is if you follow those 4 steps. Collect the data, structure like checklists or rubrics that you're going to use to evaluate the data that you collected or the component of the curriculum. The third one is run it through AI and make sure that you're keeping your data confident, like confidentiality, like you don't want it out there. Third one, conduct workshops so the faculty know that they don't have to do any homework or anything like that. They just need to show up to the class and there's dedicated time to think and work. And 4, and not the least, but one of the most important ones, provide coaching sessions where they can ask questions and make sure that their final version of the SLOs, it's aligned to what they need. So I think that regardless of the essentials, if you don't have the essentials, if you have your state competencies or anything like that, the key component is following these 4 phases and making sure that you do these 4 things for each component of the curriculum.
I just want to add that I also think that it's important to be aware of your mission and vision and values and make sure that they are aligned with your School of Nursing's mission and vision and the school's philosophy. Because we have to, we have to do that. That's essential. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Pines.
Yes, I'd like to also add that I think that the process that Alejandra just spelled out can be helpful because it'll help you personalize learning by adapting materials and feedback for the individual student needs, regardless of curriculum style. It'll explain complex ideas in simpler terms. It'll assist with administrating the task because you have a roadmap.
and it'll improve accessibility for students with disabilities through the tools like a speech to text. We didn't talk about that, but I think that would also be helpful. And I think overall, as I said in my slide, in my presentation, it will facilitate collaboration. I think it's wonderful to identify a champion, but the champion must also have a team. And so I think utilizing the steps and the AI can help you even if you're not a concept-based curriculum. Thank you for that question.
Wonderful. I think everyone is it's excited to get started. Someone mentioned this would be great. We are a faculty group of 4, so anything would be helpful. Exactly. We know that you have a lot on your plate, and we want to provide something that is streamlined so that we can help you with the transition to the essentials. So it has been a pleasure presenting today, and an honor to be with Dr. Aranda Naranjo and Dr. Pines. Please, thank you so much to both of you for joining us today and for joining me in this crazy journey as we started about 3 months ago about how do we leverage AI and build a structured curriculum. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. And please let us know if you have any questions. Please submit them to us or book a session, 15-minute session, so that we can talk about where you are, where do you want to be, what's holding you back, and if the cohort of the Enflux Assessment Academy is the right fit. Wonderful. Well, happy Tuesday. Great seeing everybody. Thank you so much.